welcome. I am going to start my franchise mode. I just completed all of the careers.
Yep.
Just finished the last one earlier today. So we're going to start franchise mode, which I've already put in place my company, which is going to be Legacy Company. And we are going to start with Legacy Prime, which is going to be a grassland in North America. So let's go on and dive in to it. So I did switch so that the aging scale is slower. I found that I prefer the animals to age slow. Sorry for cutting to do a time lapse so early, but this part ended up being 16 minutes and it's nothing but me talking, and no one wants that at the beginning. So basically I have trouble figuring out exactly how I'm going to start, because I don't know exactly how I want to do the zoo. And what I think I want to do is to do small little biomes um, around the zoo. So there won't really be anything between them except for maybe decorations or whatnot. It's not going to be long distances between them, but it'll be like a grassland biome, and then there'll be a tundra beside it, tropical. It'll be spread around like that, just making it a little more distinctive. And I got this idea um, from another YouTuber who I'd like to give credit to, Party Elite. I've been watching his zoo, his first zoo. I'm on episode 25. Um, with his zoo, he wanted to stick with just North America. And I've seen what he um, struggled to find animals to put in. So I came up with the idea of doing the different biomes, because I can pull, like grassland, I can pull animals from pretty much every continent, and I think that'll be better. But you can see here I'm struggling on figuring out how to do the path, because I can't decide the size or anything about it. And so I decided just to stick with the 5 meter and go on and bring it out. I can't figure out how far to go out. I think I've gone out too far, but hopefully once you see the end of this episode and into the next episode, once I've gotten the 2 animals in, we'll be making a profit and be able to work with it. But yeah, so this is how I'm going to start. Get out to here, and we'll start putting in the faculty facilities and see how that goes. basically go out to here, and what we're going to do is we're going to get, as long as that's even, we're going to go in and get some of these staff facilities. And I know it costs a little bit more to go with these, but that's what I'm going to go with, just so that I don't have to worry about decorating them right now. Eventually, we'll put in these and put our own decorations, or use the game's versions for like the African version and the Indian, all of those different ones. Use them, but for now, let's just go with looking for Trade Center. We're going to just go with this. So what I'm going to do is the Trade Center is going to be the center one, because all of them flow from there. And we're just going to get in all of these, and I press the wrong button all the time, sorry about that. I'm going to actually leave some space so that I can decorate around them, because it's not like we don't have the space. So what we're going to do is we're going to put that there. Actually, we're going to do veterinary surgery on this side, and we're going to do a keeper's hut on this side. I'm actually going to do a keeper's hut on this side. Let me know what y'all think about this. Like I said, I prefer more symmetrical layout, but it's not for everyone, and if it's not for you, let me know and I will do my best to try to limit it, limit how much of this symmetry that I do. Again, we're going to leave space between the pathway and the buildings, just so that we can put some plants or something in. Let's see, we just need research center, which I am going to put this away relatively in line with that, and a workshop as well. Somewhere like in... Okay, so we started out with 40 and we have spent 20 already without any guest, any animals, anything. So what I want to do first is look at the animals that I have. So let's decide. Okay, so I only have the aardvark and the African buffalo. So that's not a great selection to start with. And so the aardvark I can't get, but let's just look and see. It is grassland. So aardvark is one. And so my plan is, so the aardvark can go in grassland and tropical. And most likely it will end up going in both. For one, if I do grassland here, I can put the aardvark here, but eventually I might end up putting it in tropical as well, somewhere on the other side of the zoo. And that would just help with the breeding, because once the aardvarks here breed, I could move the baby from here to the other one and switch. That way it would keep them from inbreeding, but would allow me to get their genes up, keep their genes up, that sort of thing. So yeah, that's the plan, at least. We'll see how it ends up going, but that's the plan. So let's look at African buffalo. I think is probably the same, grassland and tropical, because these are from southeast Africa. So the big thing is to watch the water requirements. Aardvarks I know don't require water, but I did know that African buffalo did. And the temperature, because we are in a hot climate. So we're going to end up having to cool most of the time, would be my guess. If it's January and it says temperature, we're probably going to have to cool most of the year for both of these. Yeah, see, they require 16 to 40, both of them do. And I know they do. They can be with some others. And so that's my plan. The aardvark we'll start with separately, because they don't get bonus from others. But the African buffalo, I'd eventually like to do an exhibit that has all of these, or most of them. And again, I apologize for this taking so long to start with. I might go back and edit it to speed this up and cut the talking down. I don't want to do that because I feel like I've talked about some important things, but we will see. And actually, now that I look at this, I think I've done this too far, because what we're going to do is we're going to start. First, I need to see the aardvark. Just grade 2, 1.65, so that's fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with this. It's relatively sorry, I'm thinking I might actually dig down, let the aardvarks be in a sunken enclosure, because that would give them some room to hide. I could take and potentially do so let's just shrink this down. I'm going to just shrink it down to 1.5, because that's high enough. Switch over to this. Don't really need that much space, but sorry, I couldn't remember if we could if we could align this to grid or anything. So I'm just going to do 2 on that side. Sometimes why is it obstructed? I'm sorry guys, I'm not sure why this won't let me. When in doubt, yep. It was. So we have to sorry, told you. Keep forgetting buttons and pushing. So, excluding females. So they don't need a big space because you can't breed them and continue growing the population. Once they breed and the juveniles grow to adulthood, you have to get rid of them. So if that is the case, let's go back here, because literally I think I'm gonna need to move this exhibit. I mean, this habitat. Hopefully, I think I should be able to. And it just didn't want to. I can use that space up there for that should be fine. I'll use this space to have an exhibit go behind it to give them a little more room, a little hiding, whatever they need. So what I'm going to do is first delete that, and then once I get this, I just want to make sure that they're fine beside it, and get to the move. I'm sorry about this, but like I said, it will bug me if certain things aren't in line and whatnot. So what I'm going to do now is so that we can go and get that big. That is what I was afraid of. Bit. Just so that I can that might actually be a little too far down, because they don't need that should be pretty good. And I'm hoping that there we go. What I'm going to do, I'm going to add with that, and then we are going to just need to smooth out the terrain enough that keepers can move down to take care of the bugs. So then what I'm going to do is move these back. That's a lot closer than I thought. Come on. Oop. Okay. So we got that. What we need to do... I lied. We're gonna... Oh no, there we go. Okay. So we want to get a... The immunity gene I don't worry about probably as much as I should. Just because we can research... we can research the diseases. I know that's probably not the best way to think about it, but we can research the diseases and don't have to worry about the immunity. I'm more worried about size, making sure they're going to be big animals. Longevity, we want them to live for a long time so we don't have to replace them. And fertility, we want to be able to breed. So, she is good, and just so y'all know, I am not going to try to pronounce these names because I don't know how to say her name. But we're going to get her, and we're going to get him. And then what we want to do, and she is a bronze appeal, so that is good. So we're going to move them to quarantine. I know some people don't do that, but I always move my animals to quarantine when I first get them. So let's go on and unpause, and what we'll do is we'll get a caretaker, a keeper, so that they can be getting them. We need one mechanic. We don't need a security guard at the moment. Vendor we'll get when we actually put in the things, but we do need a vet. And so what we're going to do, it doesn't matter right now because we don't have that big of an area, but we're going to create a new work zone. It's going to be called Central Grassland, because that's what we're going for right now. And we're going to have these staff buildings and the aardvark enclosure, if I can add it. And I forgot, we need to add power, which will eventually switch everything over to solar, just so that we can work on the conservation rating for the zoo. And what I might do, so if y'all didn't know, this running cost is $100 per year, so that's nothing. That is nothing compared to what it could be. But if we look at under habitats, water, we've got this water pipe, which I'll just put it in to show. It has a running cost of 50. So reverse that, just so that it doesn't cost me anything to put in. Where are we at? Facilities. If I put this in, it can cover probably at least 3, if not 4 habitats. And if I had to put a water pipe in at least 1, like the buffaloes, they have to have water. So I'm going to have to put this in. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to put it in the same. And actually what I need to do is extend this path down some, because it's going to eventually be going down that way. And I'll have to extend it a little bit on that side as well. What I'm probably going to end up doing is putting doing this. And what I'll have to do is, yeah, because that's not raised. Once I deselect, so now that I've got that in, what I'm going to do is actually pause before we keep, because we're spending a lot of money and that gets the water in. So now that quarantine is passed for at least the one, I'm going to get him in. Where is the other animal? I did get 2, right? Oh, I must not have sent. Oh, I'm thinking you can. I'm used to career. You can select multiple animals and send them. To like quarantine, trade them out, whatever. But I'm thinking here you cannot do but one at a time. So let caretaker going to move the 1 hardwork that is ready. So what we're going to do is we're going to downgrade. And now that he is in, what we're going to do is just do that, just so that we can put the water in that he needs, or that they need. And what we're going to do is first look to make sure the space is fine. And it is. So what I always like to check is just to make sure he can get to everything. If he can get to everything, then the keeper should be able to as well. So what we're going to do is then switch over to terrain type and focus on, so actually what I need to do is, I forgot what I was going to do. So what I'm going to actually do is, let's add okay, well, it won't let me add. So what we're gonna have to do is the null doesn't cost anything, so I can put it in, delete what I need to, re-put it back, all of that stuff. So what I want to do is terrain. I forgot. I want to do a covered shelter for them. I mean, in-ground, basically, shelter. And to do that, they're going to need more space because they will lose some traversable space when I so sorry about that. I've been playing for a little while now. I mean, not a great length of time, but a little while. But I still end up pushing the wrong button all the time. Like, just not a big fan of the movement, the camera movement. But I know you can use key buttons on the keypad, I mean the keyboard, to fix it, I mean to move the camera, but it's almost easier to just use the mouse, but at the same time you then run into the habit of pushing the wrong button or doing the wrong thing. Okay, so now that the habitat is good, what I'm going to do is create the little cave for them to be in. I could create it out of rocks, but I like the look of just raising the terrain. First, what we're going to do is fix, and I don't know, this Zoom might end up being a bust, because we're down to almost 11,000. We don't have guests coming in. We want to do that, and then soil we're going to put around the watering hole. So, at least we have some guests coming in. So that's always good. So, how I'm going to do the foliage is I'm not going to worry about climate, I'm just going to do biome, sort it by biome, and do it that way. And then we can figure out what trees. Well, first of all, what trees I like. See, so that's too much for them. What about just a single one? Yep. So that's the problem. A lot of animals don't like a lot of foliage. So, what I'm going to do is change this over to short grass because that's where I'm going to be building it. What we're going to do is opposite way. Be no higher than. I'm gonna have to go back to fix. Smooth it. That's not what I want to do right now. What I'm going to do. Because they are rather shy creatures, I think. So it's best to have them to be able to escape, especially with them being. I don't want them to really lose this area or space that they can travel. Of course. Do is exit out of that, play to make sure. So they are not enough shelter. Smooth it too much, that's when it starts to disappear. Let's see about that. Pretty good. Hard bark. So we want a large food bowl. I wonder if we should put the food bowl up here. Nope. That destroys the interior of the cave, but we will put it here. That'll be fine enough. We already have the water, so that's good. What we're going to do is we're going to do medium beds, and hopefully putting these in, and that's what I was afraid of. So what I need to do is chisel down some more. And then take it and flatten it out. And then we'll smooth this down so we make sure they can get into the habitat. And that leaves them enough space to traverse, gives them their water, and gives them their shelter. And I know this was a long video for not much actual gameplay, but the next video will be, and if you've already watched all the way through, then you know what I did to the beginning, but I might go back and cut down to where I actually get to start building these. Cut that down a lot, and actually, while he is wandering, because it almost looks like he's trying to get out, let's just make sure. Okay, so he cannot get in. Oh, they can't get down into the shelter. Did that fix it? Oh, come on. There we go. We'll have to see. That, I mean, that, I don't mind looking at, because it looks like they're going down into, they don't really have dens, I don't think, but that lets them. So, I don't know if we're going to actually be able to work with this zoo, but before I post this, I'm going to expand a little more, make sure this zoo works, but I'm thinking that it might be too far out. Might be too far out for guests. They get too tired to make the trip out here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with, these aren't going to stay here, but I want to get these in so that hopefully it'll keep keep the guest here. And I'm literally out of money, but just to start with, get something in here. Get something in here just to see. So I have a lot of expenses going on. But hopefully, once we can get some guests in, which the problem is they've got to travel so long, so I might have to go back and cut it just down to here. I just hate having it so close, but I'm thinking this might be too far for guests to go. So donations are going up. going up steadily. My expenses are still rather high to start out, but I do need to, it just said something about not having. I know it's a little pointless, especially since it's not even sure if the zoo's gonna survive. So the negative is shrinking, but I don't know if it's going to shrink enough to allow us to stay here. And we have no guest even looking at the aardvarks right now. Getting some, but that guy's just left. So it's increasing. Sorry, I knew there were goals for this, but I wasn't sure what they were. Okay, so last year, which we spent most of the year with barely anyone here, we are up to 265 guests, and it looks like the profit might hold steady. So what I think I'm going to do, first let's see if there's any other animals. No. So I don't know, the buffalo might have to be 1 male up to 14 females. Okay, so that's fine. So I could get all of the ones that I have, and I'm thinking that's what we might do. Go on and just do the African buffalo. Needs 420, which isn't a lot, because if we look at this, that's 708. So basically, if we build it right here beside it, and what we'll do is we'll put some sort of rock barrier up around this, because the buffalo won't be underground. If we do that, or maybe we could put it over here. Let's just go for it. I need to get another animal in here, and once we can get our profit, so grade 3 greater than 4, so 4 1/4. Grade 3. What do we want to do? Wood logs. Do 20-foot section and a 20-foot section. And I know this episode's getting a little long, and I promise I'm going to... I just want to get this in. And I think, like I said, I'm going to... I'll take and... So it's not a perfect square. Close enough. And let's move this down just so that I can go on and get the path put in place. And actually what I'm going to do is animal trading. I think I'm going to have to go on and take out a loan. Oh, I got African elephants, though I can't get either one of them. And my buffalo changed. Let's see what these are. None of those are particularly good anyway. I guess she's not bad to start. The other one is not good. Well, immunity's down, the rest isn't. To start, we'll go with it. I really wish I could get a male. Let's see. Let's check those just to make sure. Play while we let those animals come. We can sort of I'll have to just keep checking back. Going, we'll do this one more. So edit barrier. Too close. Probably have to move it. And of course the last one I didn't move enough. There we go. As long as we keep making money. There's a lot of guests leaving, but a lot of guests coming in. We're at a higher profit, but we aren't anymore. Still no bagels. get them in. And once we get them in, I think we'll call it a session. And I see that I do need to include it in the work zone, but I think what we'll do is look at that and call it a session.